Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between Chaemiko and LawLiet. Oh, there it goes, finally comes up. Well, LawLiet spawning as the blue night elf over here on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Chaemiko spawning as the red human. So blue night elf versus red human. Excuse me, I think I stumbled over my words there for just a little bit. Let's see what's going to go ahead and go down in this 1v1 matchup. Now, Night Elf versus Human. All right. Well, yep. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Getting my intro one more time. I'm going to go ahead and speed things up to at least a 2-minute mark, as we've all seen the first 2 minutes of a Night Elf versus Human matchup. Keeper of the Grove going up against an Archmage. No big surprises here. Archer will pop on out, aggro some creeps. Meanwhile, Archmage will go ahead and try and militia creep out some locations. And then this game will get underway once we hit the level 2 mark on both of these heroes. Level 2 mark, Brilliance Aura on the Archmage allows that Archmage to do a little bit more pressure and presence. Thank you, Orc plugin, for the bits. Every little bit does definitely help support the channel. I think technically speaking, taxes-wise, I think I'm still breaking even. Well, at least I'm covering the cost of everything. So really more of a passion project than a source of income, but still really, really fun to be able to share some awesome WarCraft 3 with you here in 2022. Militia now going to go ahead and clear out the Kobold Geomancer, making sure to reduce the amount of slow that is being cast, and then going after the rest of the Kobold Taskmaster there. Archmage will get to level 2. Meanwhile, the Keeper of the Grove also setting up an expansion as well. I do like the way that the expansions are now being played out. Night Elf and LawLiet moving towards the center a little bit more. Meanwhile, the Archmage opting to go a little bit more into the corner and be able to take down this last expansion over here on the top left-hand side of the map. By doing so, they're not really going to be forcing engagements against each other, since they are expanding in different directions. We are looking, though, at the Archmage trying to get up to level 3. Wisp is trying to see if an expansion is being placed down. Arcane Tower is already being set up to help protect against those tree ants and eventual entangles, which should get underway momentarily. Tech to tier 2 already begun by LawLiet as well. Meanwhile, Chaemiko a little bit further behind in that tech to tier 2 as well. It takes a little bit more lumber to set up those scout towers as well. Hello, Crota. Well, Crota is life back in WarCraft 3. I asked Soen and he said life is back 1 to 2 weeks ago. I unfortunately don't get to keep up with all of the current news and meta current news. So if someone said life is back, then I have no reason to doubt him. Just need to see him play a couple more tournaments and get into some replays, and it would be great to see life back in the game. Meanwhile, we are looking at this tree of life about to get taken down. I guess life is not going to be coming in this game here, as the tree of life down to 135 hit points. We do see a level up to level 3, little bit more damage needed, and that tree of life down to 37 hit points, 38 hit points. Entangle, beautifully done. Is this going to be the miracle hold of the century, as the water elemental turns things back around and forces the cancellation? Was that worth it, though, as we are looking at a level 3 and nearly halfway to level 4 Keeper of the Grove, as the Archmage now being forced to retreat back. That was a lot of experience given, a lot of units lost, but also a lot of time lost trying to set up that tree of life. And with that said, this one expansion is already up and operational, which means, well, there is a bit of a gold advantage for Chaemiko. Now, with all of that said and done, the tech to tier 2 has just now started. Meanwhile, the tech to tier 2 down in the south, we could be looking at some sort of Tavern hero and using that window of opportunity to try and put pressure onto the expansion. Breath of Fire on a Panda, well known to blow over a couple of expansions in years past. We'll see if that is going to continue to be the case, as the Archmage still runs around the map here, getting entangled, now forcing a Staff of Teleportation to head back home. All right, Footman. All right, Arcane Tower Archmage going to drop in a water elemental as well. Try to protect this location in the back while picking up a Clarity Potion and Scroll of Regeneration, Pure Up of Vitality, and also the Circlet of Nobility, while having that higher end on that Archmage's overall hit points. but it will take a little bit more time to recover all of that hit points there. Speaking of that Tavern hero, it is going to be a Panda now being brought out into play. Is he going to go straight for the expansion, or is he going to perhaps try and do a little bit of creeping? That is the follow-up question here, as the Ancient of War is already in position to absorb a bit of damage. There's a bit of roar right there. Brewmaster purposely, well, Keeper of the Grove purposely backing away to give the Brewmaster more opportunity. But what is this coming back around? A potential creepjack here, as we see the Panda now trying to escape back once more. Ancient of War going to suffer a lot of damage here. Meanwhile, Entangle onto the Archmage. Archmage is currently down to about a quarter life, but with that Pure Up of Vitality and the Circlet of Nobility, he is a bit more higher on hit points than you would normally expect at this point and stage in the game. Archmage still getting some damage onto that Panda. Panda still trying to get away here. Keeper of the Grove going to go ahead and come back around, perhaps land another Entangle onto that Archmage as well, trying to rack up more damage here as there's a brawl in the center portion of the map. Coming back through Entangle onto a Water Elemental. Water Elemental should easily be taken down here. One or two more shots. Panda is hoping to get in a little bit more experience off of these Water Elementals. The Water Elementals, the level 2 variety, are essentially give as much experience, I believe, as Knights. As we're looking at the Keeper of the Grove now using a Scroll of Town Portal to try and protect the expansion gold mine once again. Scroll of Regeneration trying to repair Archmage, already using a Staff of Teleportation. To regroup back with all of those footmen there, breaking that surround. Does still have a Scroll of Town Portal, as damage is still racking up onto some of those units. Archmage could have a very, very bad day indeed. Are we going to be looking at a Breath of Fire, Scroll of Town Portal used at just the last moment once more? All of these split-second differences making for a rather entertaining and exciting game. Back off to the north once more. Archmage using the Scroll of Regeneration could have bought a Scroll of Town Portal, decided not to do so, as he's still waiting to put more pressure onto this entangled gold mine. Now, with all of the pressure that Chaemiko is putting on here, he's actually just banking a large amount of gold. By banking all of this gold, he is staying out of high upkeep, or out of any sort of upkeep, dodging those taxes, and really hoping that by constantly delaying the entangled gold mine, he'll be able to hold on to that economic advantage. Ancient of Wonders about to be blown down here. Panda sitting at level 1 trying to chase after all of these units. There's a Breath of Fire going across multiple units once more as the Forest Troll Shadow Breeds gets taken down by the Brewmaster for a bit of denial. Alright, Footman going to get taken down, giving level 2 to the Brewmaster. Are we going to see Drunken Haze here as a couple of Wisps going to get detonated once more? No sign of any sort of level 2 ability yet onto that Panda, as we see more detonations coming back across. True Shot Aura should help with a little bit of the damage on the Keeper of the Grove and all of these other units, but it may not be enough, as we see a Water Elemental just get dispelled into nothing. With the Dryads' slow poison now, able to pick off some of these trailing low hit point footmen, trying to go for a deny, but Chaemiko attacks a little bit too early, as LawLiet purposely stops those engagements to, gain that last bit of experience. Back off to the north here. Archmage now trying to retreat back away. Panda needs to regroup. Panda is currently low on mana and needs some experience, as well as LawLiet seems to have stabilized himself with that expansion and should be able to continue along his merry way. Level 3 on the Keeper of the Grove. Level 2 on the Panda. Pressure now mounting up, perhaps trying to do a little bit of a counter push here, but we are going to be looking at Priest with Heal Mortar teams to try and deal with those Dryads, as the Priests are now retreating back. Chaemiko still sitting on a very large gold advantage, but hasn't really translated that into an army advantage as of yet. Also, the Breath of Fire, much more effective, coming across from LawLiet, as we see Militia, Footmen, and Riflemen all getting blasted away by that cone AoE damage. Meanwhile, the Panda of Chaemiko only really able to hit the archers and the mercenaries and the heroes right now, and those are not, aside from the archers, they are low hit point units, but they have a little bit of additional magic resistance, so this War of Attrition style strategy is actually favoring LawLiet, as you are seeing a bunch of slowed hit point footmen constantly trying to retreat back away. Footmen getting healed up right there. Low hit point Panda now down to 174 hit points. Dryads continuing to rack in a little bit more damage. That Priest just completely surrounded by Dryads, easily going to get takedown, as another Water Elemental gets blown over there. You see that Breath of Fire only hitting that archer there, and now perhaps maybe taking down that forest troll berserker as more footmen are still engaging. 52 supply compared to 44. Chaemiko perhaps waiting to try and get up to tier 3 before engaging with superior units, but he is only just picking up riflemen from the barracks, and that is it so far. Union's coming back around here. Panda now trying to make his way back inside. Mortar team's going to hope to engage again. Where are all of these units running back off to? That is the question. As well, the Panda now making its way back down to the south. Keeper of the Grove with Dryads. Panda now sitting at level 3. Definite hero level advantage for LawLiet. And now with him perhaps getting to tier 3 as well, and also getting some bears with mastery training, they'll be able to push on pressure, a large amount of pressure. All right, Dire Frostwolf going to get finished off here. Sasquatch getting healed up as well. Not a lot of healing across all of these units. Druid of the Claw should be getting in some rejuvenations onto some of the heroes and on some of the Dryads as well, as we're looking at hero or unit after unit falling here fairly fast, as the bears should be transforming into their animal form here to try and tank a bit of damage and help with the creeping. Chaemiko sitting at 63 supply with 1,200 gold in the bank. Meanwhile, LawLiet sitting at 79 supply with only 200 gold in the bank. So it is still very comparable, except for the fact that LawLiet should be able to blast apart Chaemiko's army very, very fast, or very quickly. Brewmaster, Archmage continuing to engage here. Water Elemental looking to absorb some damage. Archmage really wants to get up to level 4, but still has quite a ways to go in terms of that experience race. Panda wants to get to level 3 even more as the Archmage looks to back up again. As the heroes are able to level up more and more, LawLiet is just continuing to grow his advantage here. Perhaps getting up to a level 5 on that Keeper of the Grove. And then once we see a level 5 at the Keeper of the Grove and all of these expansions, the way we're seeing it, I would not be surprised if that Keeper of the Grove does get into Tranquility, which, as we know, is an extremely powerful ability. Without any sort of stun so far coming in from Chaemiko, the Tranquility may turn the tide or continue to press that advantage for LawLiet when the time comes. All right, Granite Golem gonna give level 4 to the Brewmaster. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove just shy of level 5 here. Gonna finish off the remaining Dire Wolves once more, as the Brewmaster getting that much closer to level 5 as well. Some big items on that Panda: Unholy Aura, Potion of Invulnerability, and the Mana Stone. We'll be able to get off plenty of Breaths of Fire. Meanwhile, the Keeper of the Grove hasn't picked up an Orb of Venom yet, which does surprise me a bit, as the utility of that Orb of Venom is just so powerful. All right, Mana Flare could be used here. Mortar Team, Sorceress, Archmage now trying to make its way back over. Panda is sitting at level 3. We're looking at low hit point Druid of the Claw, no Staff of Preservation that I see, so that Druid of the Claw escapes away at 3 hit points. All right, a little bit more damage coming back through. Are we going to see that Druid of the Claw get taken down? Breath of Fire may be able to finish it off. Yes, it does finish it off right there, taking down that big unit. Archmage and a Panda still only sitting at 3.4 experience each of them. The Panda of Chaemiko does have a lot of potions and should be able to be useful in a fight. He just hasn't been able to get into the right spot. LawLiet sitting at 80 over 80 supply. We are building up a second tree of life, and well, the main gold mine still has about 6 minutes of mining left. Coming back around, Army is going to go ahead and re-engage here. Keeper of the Grove also didn't gain that much experience either, so both sides retreating before any real heavy losses were suffered. Mortar Team, 1-0 upgrade, Sorceresses, Riflemen, Water Elementals, no Knights, no real front line actually available anywhere, as we could be looking at perhaps trying to bombard this entangled gold mine from over that tree line position. The Mortar Teams could be able to actually stop that gold mine there. Where are they going? Going after a Wisp who is just trying to get away. What is going to end up happening, as there we are getting in a little bit of blast of damage onto that entangled gold mine to try and slow things down. All right, this gold mine, 2,000 gold less, as we're going to go to an engagement here from the far side. Panda trying, oh, there's a reveal right there. beautiful, beautiful spider sense coming in from LawLiet, wondering what exactly is happening as the Panda is quickly revealed once more. All right, Panda wants to continue to fight again. Are we going to be looking at more breaths of fire here? Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. There's a Drunken Haze. Units are a bit slowed with that Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. Going to take a little bit more damage over time as the units fall back. Chaemiko with a slight supply advantage and now picking off some of these trailing units, but it looks as though these units will be able to head back easily. Spellbreakers with 1-2 upgrades, very powerful, but then again at the same time easily taken apart by bears with their mauling damage in that front line because of the medium armor of these Spellbreakers again. All right, a little bit more damage. Tree of Life quickly taking down Flying Machine, trying to go after now the Fairy Dragons. Fairy Dragons, however, don't get taken down, getting in a couple of Mana Flares there as we see it Entangle go down onto a Mortar team. All right, expansion was taken down, but LawLiet already had another expansion ready to go. Needs to set it up, get some units over here quickly and support here. 7 armor on the Tree of Life will give it a little bit of extra protection as this expansion will be established up here in just a moment. Somehow LawLiet has not gained any additional experience on that Keeper of the Grove, staying at 5.1 throughout all this time, allowing Chaemiko to get back into this game, nearing level 4 on both of his heroes. Panda now just a little bit shy, trying to get that last bit of experience. Ogre Magi, there's level 4 onto that Brewmaster, and Chaemiko looking to make a strong case and get back into this game. All right, Ring of Protection +3 has been dropped. Archmage not opting to destroy it, now going after the Granite Golem and a Dire Frostwolf here to perhaps clean things up. The Spellbreaker is actually going to be able to deal large amounts of damage to the Dire Wolves as they do have mana, and that feedback damage adds up extremely quickly. Hippogriffs now trying to make their way back over. Mana Flare or Fairy Dragons coming back around here. What's going to end up getting taken down? Trying to finish off this last Granite Golem. Is the Brewmaster going to get the experience? No, it does not. Instead, the Panda gets the experience there, I believe, and during that leveling up to level 5 did a little bit of experience for the Keeper of the Grove as well. So we are now looking at 2 level 5 heroes going up against 2 level 4 heroes. Scroll of Regeneration being used effectively to heal across multiple biological units. Chaemiko setting up this expansion down to the south here. Tome of Intelligence Tome of Intelligence being left behind as we should be looking at this Tree of Eternity perhaps uprooting in about 3 minutes or so. 80 over 84 compared to 76 over 90. Another expansion needs to be set up here. Otherwise, Chaemiko is going to find himself in a little bit of a comeback situation as there's only about, 6 minutes of mining left from this expansion gold mine. 2-1 upgrades coming in from LawLiet. Meanwhile, we're looking at 1-1 and then level 2 armor upgrades coming in from Chaemiko as the armies are looking to figure out what their long-term strategy and plan of attack is going to be. Brewmaster holding on with Endurance Aura. We're looking at the Druids of the Claw now in the far back here. Dryads trying to get into position. Fairy Dragons and Hippogriffs all in position here as well as the Panda could get in some Breath of Fire here while taking some arcane damage from that tower. As the Hippogriffs are trying to poke down those flying machines now. Druids of the Claw now suffering a little bit of damage once more. We see some spell steal as well, taking that precious roar away from those Druids of the Claw. Remember, that is a plus 20% damage bonus, essentially giving 4-1 upgrade to the Druids of the Claw. There's a frontline Breath of Fire, but a quick entangle onto the Brewmaster, and he is going to be in a bit of trouble. More damage over time. Brewmaster is already in a lot of trouble here. May need to use a Scroll of Healing and has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability as well. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire as more damage racking back up. Fairy Dragons able to get in a couple of Mana Flare as well as Breath of Fire coming across multiple sides here. Very low hit point. Druid of the Claw able to escape away and able to head back home once more. 73 supply compared to 78. LawLiet inching out ahead right there as more healing will be necessary again. That Panda really wants to get to level 5. No real sign of that as of yet. A flare, making sure that to see if an expansion has been placed down. No expansion in the center portion of the map as what Tree of Eternity should be making its way over there in the next minute or so. Problem with moving the Tree of Eternity is any Staff of Preservations will no longer be close to the Moonwells, and if there is an attack at the actual expansion, you will not be able to save that unit any longer, as it doesn't teleport them far enough home or far enough away. Now, what is the follow-up strategy is going to be once more a little bit of a damage coming back across, a little bit of slow poison trying to pick away at these fights here, but the mortar teams so far in the very far back with that damage bonus able to deal so much more. Mana Flare coming back around here as the sorceresses are going to continue to engage again. All right, there's more damage coming back through mortar teams. Knights now in the front line, but remember, they do not have that animal war training, and they're taking quite a bit of damage. Fairy Dragon's going to have some bad days here as they are no longer easily protected. Fly Machine should be able to dive on in here to try and get in some engagement, as the Fairy Dragons are not really mana flaring all the sorceresses, and the take it back. They're finally within range here as we now see Wisp coming in from behind to try perhaps get some detonations, remove that inner fire, and remove some mana. Panda could be in a little bit of trouble sitting at level 4. Archmage sitting at level 4. We could be seeing a level up to level 5. There you are. And then level 3 Breath of Fire being pushed across multiple units as that damage is still starting to rack up. Level 5, level 4 going up against a dual level 5s as the Wisp are finding multiple targets to detonate, and only a handful of priests still have any sort of mana. However, a lot of low hit point Druids of the Claw are getting taken apart right now. Is it going to get taken down to 11 hit points? And it looks like it's going to be down to 9 hit points. Gets taken down there, doesn't drink from the Moonwell, as it, well, that is a problem once more. Brewmaster down to 192 hit points, could try and finish off some more of those units. There's a Breath of Fire. He's down to 146. He does have a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, uses it, and now trying to get the heck out of dodge, but as two sorceresses get taken down there. All right, a giant bloodbath between the two sides here, but Chaemiko, sitting on 2,000 gold, still has a large enough bank to try and train up additional units. Not quite sure, well, where he's spending all of his gold right now. On perhaps some items. Perhaps on some items there. Staff of Sanctuary to try and heal up a handful of units as well. Nothing currently healing at the main castle. Tree of Life or Tree of Eternity slowly making the trek off to the north. It is going to try and establish up a new expansion. Down to the south here, LawLiet sitting at 50 over 90 supply, trying to build up a bank of gold before going into low upkeep. Chaemiko, on the other hand, well, using that Scroll of Regeneration and taking the time to make its way across the map with a full hit point army. More knights are being trained up as well. We are getting up some spellbreakers, and the army is going to be coming back over the top as we're looking at a potential engagement in the center. All right, Staff of Sanctuary is going to be used for the save right there, as the knight does end up gets healed right there. Continuing the fight, Staff of Sanctuary should be used to try and save that unit, as it is just so low on hit points. Flying Machines able to take down some of those Fairy Dragons in the air, as the Panda still putting in pressure. Staff of Preservation saves there, as the Druid of the Claw hoping to get away as that slow was dispelled. All right, back home. Yes, that knight is now being healed back up to full. Meanwhile, Chaemiko needs to find a way to keep and strike while the iron is hot, and he has that army size advantage. We're 24 minutes into this game here. Chaemiko, I believe, can close it out if he chooses to fight in a good spot. But there is only 430 gold left in this expansion gold mine. If this fight does not go his way, this is going to give a big opportunity for LawLiet to get back into this game, as he's going to be mining from 2 bases compared to 0 for quite a bit of time. However, there are no wisp in this gold mine at all, as we're getting ready to an engagement. All right, Panda coming in from the far side. Other Panda trying to perhaps get in a little bit of damage here, as the mortar team could be able to take down this Tree of Life. All right, a quick Breath of Fire, and that expansion is going to be gone before it does even have a chance to try and stick around. The Invisible Panda, courtesy of the adept sorceresses, able to easily get invisibility on the Brewmaster, time and time again. All right, Flare, does it show the expansion? Yes, we are now looking at 1 base versus 0 base here. 56 supply compared to 79. And this is where, well, the last stand for Night Elf may have to be. Coming back around, Archmage, we're getting ready to push on in. Knights are in position here. Panda sitting at level 5. We are nearing level 6's on both enemy heroes for for Chaemiko. LawLiet could be able to get to Earth, Storm, and Fire and Tranquility, and without the ability to stun the Keeper of the Grove, the army is just going to be that much more difficult to try and stop. The Dryads are also a bit separated as well, trying to get into a flank position and capture all of these units in an unfortunate spot, as well as we see Peasants trying to do a little bit of long distance mining and getting taken down. All right, taking down key buildings and infrastructure wherever they can. There's a Breath of Fire racking up a little bit of damage. However, a quick entangle stops that Brewmaster for a short while. Meanwhile, mortar teams are just hoping to rack up more damage here as the Dryads are coming in from the far side. This is not looking good at all for LawLiet as the mortar teams can continue to take out key infrastructure buildings and healing. All right, right time, getting in some more damage. Hi, Silseed. Oh, I guess that's Silseed. Pleasure to watch you cast. Well, thank you for watching for as long as you have. Coming back around, Dryads getting into position here. Panda, well, gonna go ahead and Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. Rifleman taking quite a bit of damage. Mortar team's able to get in some damage onto those Dryads off to the north, and we're still looking at who's gonna level up first. 5.9 on that Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove, if it gets to level 6, that Tranquility would make a very big difference, but still, bear after bear after bear is getting taken down. Nearly level 6 now on Chaemiko's Panda, as more Breaths of Fire are going down as well. Scroll of Healing saving the Knight here, which would have given level 6 to the Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove does have level 6, but doesn't have enough mana for Tranquility right now, trying to save as many units as it can. A bear trying to retreat back. 48 supply compared to 74. Keeper of the Grove does buy a potion of mana and is going to be able to hold on temporarily. There goes an entangle onto the Brewmaster. Brewmaster is currently absorbing quite a bit of damage while trying to heal back up, and now Earthstorm and Fire does come online for Chaemiko. All right, Cyclone, now Wand of the Wind being used, picking up, no, not Wand of the Wind. I had totally forgot. Storm does get Cyclone, and that was the counter ability to the Keeper of the Grove's Tranquility to stop him and get him into a stun situation. Fire still running around here. Staff of Preservation saves as the Keeper of the Grove now back off to the north here. Storm continuing, or Storm actually now getting picked up. Not quite sure how. Oh, Storm versus Storm. Now dual Earth, Storm, and Fire out here onto the map. If you are having a difficult time trying to figure out whose is whose because the colors look so similar, well, I agree with you. Archmage now gets up to level 6, does have now Mass Teleport. What is going to end up going down here as Chaemiko's Earth, Storm, and Fire comes to an end, trying to remove that last bit of advantage of that, well, of that Ancient of Wonders, that home field advantage again, as the Keeper of the Grove still able to pick a little bit of damage time and time again because of that, well, Orb of Venom. All right, Panda coming back in across from the other side here, continuing to try and engage. This is Earth. Earth is now back up to full. Gonna try and fight back once more. This is actually a tough spot for him to be. Perhaps a potion of invulnerability should be used. There's a Breath of Fire across multiple units as some priests are getting taken down. Brewmaster in a lot of trouble trying to retreat back away. Keeper of the Grove does have Tranquility. What is going to end up happening here? Potion of invulnerability just not being used, suffering so much damage over time for no real apparent reason. Meanwhile, Dryads are finding some of the mortar teams and some of these other units as they are coming in from transit and taking them down as well. We're looking at 4 level 6 heroes continuing the fight as Tranquility now comes online for the battle here. Tree of Eternity down to 400 hit points. It could easily get taken down, and what you see could be what you get here as the Tree of Eternity down to 14 hit points and a split-second difference to get the destruction of that Tree of Eternity. Mass Teleport, whisking all of the units away just in time as that Tree of Eternity was taken down. Now, I don't believe there is any Tree of Eternities or Tree of Lives for LawLiet. He will end up becoming revealed, but more importantly, he cannot mine any additional gold. All right, Ancient of Lore down to 13 hit points. Additional Moonwells now being placed down as well to try and act as a bit of heal, as we're looking at a 31 supply army going up against 61. Coming back off to the center here, Chaemiko just looking to watch over his peasants as they do that long distance mining for as long as they can. Every bit of gold does definitely help, and I believe Chaemiko knows that LawLiet needs to bring the fight if he wants the game to end here. All right, Knights continuing to battle it up here. Knights trying to retreat back. A little bit of easy healing. No time to try and actually build up a new town hall to make a little bit more efficient mining, as the Brewmaster in a little bit of trouble. No dispel magic for some strange reason, as both sides are now engaging. All right, Drunken Brawler coming back across, inner fire there, as the Brewmaster does have a potion of invulnerability, gonna go ahead and use it. Are we gonna see the Staff of Preservation? Yes, for the save, as that unit is gonna be saved back to the side here. All right, Druid of the Claw trying to retreat back once more. Archmage continuing to battle it up. Panda should easily get healed up again. Endurance Aura, perhaps what item? Yeah, Potion of Healing transferred to the Brewmaster, just in case there is just a bit too much focus on that Brewmaster there. All right, another Moonwell being found out in the open. It will quickly be taken down. Brewmaster wants to get healed up quickly. 61 supply compared to 30, as we see invisibility on that Brewmaster being used once more. Little bit more mining long distance, perhaps trying to train up some more units back at home, or trying to buy some items from the shop, as the Tree and Keeper of the Grove still making their rounds across the map. Panda could be in a little bit of trouble here. Both sides going to fight and engage. All right, there goes an Entangle. Drunken Brother, 100-point critical strike, as the Panda tries to escape away at 450 hit points. Staff of Preservation for the save, as the Panda is now back at home, but he has nothing really else there to try and support him, as a new Tree of Life is under construction. Panda of Chaemiko does have access to Earth, Storm, and Fire right now, so it has another get out of jail free card if the situation arises. Both sides are going to go ahead and try and engage here. Breath of Fire, there's an Entangle, there's Earth, Storm, and Fire, as Earth, Storm, and Fire out here onto the battlefield once more. Cyclone picking up that Keeper of the Grove. All right, Keeper of the Grove currently low on mana. There's a new Earth, Storm, and Fire as well, so Earth, Storm, and Fire ×2, as unit after unit is getting taken down. How can you tell which one is really which? Well, very difficult, I must tell you, as it's 28 supply now compared to 63. Red versus blue. Units are trying to retreat back away. You have to look at the auras of the heroes to tell who is who. There's the blue auras. That fire is the blue version, as Earth aura is a blue right there, continuing to fight back and forth. We're looking at the Pandas continuing to engage here, as the Archmage is trying to finish off some of the last bit of these heroes. 24 supply over 20. Earth is going to end up getting taken down, but I think Storm is still alive on the other side, and Panda will re-pop up right back there. More long-distance mining underway for Chaemiko. Meanwhile, we're looking at Chaemiko attempting to take down the last of the buildings of LawLiet, and I believe this game is definitely done. It's just so much to be had here. Keeper of the Grove trying to get an Entangle off. Staff of Sanctuary saves the unit. Panda going to try and engage still. Breath of Fire, but only hitting those Dryads who are immune to magic time and time again. More Panda engagement, but Chaemiko should have this game in the bag with an army twice the size and with dual level heroes. Greater support. Are we going to see a Scroll of Town Portal? Yes, we are, trying to save the Panda, and the Panda going to be able to teleport back home once again. All right, a little bit of heals getting underway. Time is definitely in favor of Chaemiko, as he's the one currently mining, even if it is long distance mining at this point and stage in the game. All right, every bit of gold does definitely help. It looks like an expansion is now being started down to the south here, and if you can continue to get some long distance gold, make this walk time that much shorter, you're going to be just in that much of a better spot. All right, fully upgraded Night Elf units, but the army of the Night Elf is still rather small. Let's take a look at this. Only a handful of Dryads, and 2 heroes right there. So 22 supply army. Here is 10. Here is 18. Where is the other bit of the army? That I do not know, or just can't see right now. All right, getting ready and getting into position on this. Keeper of the Grove going to try and push on through Water Elementals. Here's the engagement. There's a Breath of Fire onto the heroes. Breath of Fire going back onto the casters as well. Mortar teams trying to put pressure onto the Dryads, but unable to catch them in position, as the Knights now chase after enemy units. Keeper of the Grove could turn back around, perhaps get an Entangle off on that one unit right there, as the Panda now in a bit of trouble, down to 190 hit points. Is he going to be able to escape away? Staff of Preservation for the save. Staff of Sanctuary for the save as well, making sure to maximize the hit points of all of those units, as we're looking at one Water Elemental down to the south here, just poking apart at some of these buildings. Keeper, or the Panda, where is that last moon well? There's only one moon well left for healing. So this panda bear is just in a bit of trouble, having no easy way to heal. Does have a clarity potion. There is tranquility, but well, tranquility to try and heal up your brewmaster, and that is it, using the circlet of nobility or dropping it to get maximized heals once more. Water Elemental has made its way back over. We're looking at more clarity potions being used. Water Elemental wants to get a little bit of splash damage onto the heroes to make sure that those clarity potions are not going to get nearly as much usefulness as the Keeper of the Grove, now currently low on mana. Expansion of Chaemiko nearly up and or already up and operational, nearly fully defended, and Chaemiko has an easy time here, as there is plenty of time for him to mine at the center expansion location. Dryads now making their way across the center portion of the map. Panda has been re-healed back up once more. Can LawLiet do it? Can LawLiet do the unthinkable? Get back into this game in a crazy scenario where the army of his opponent is significantly larger in this uphill battle. Mortar teams able to splash in and splash down so much damage. Dryads able to abolish magic. The water elementals once more, so much damage to be had. Breath of Fire not effective against those Dryads, as Earthstorm and Fire now back online, trying to take down this entire backline position. All right, a lot of damage to be had here. Keeper of the Grove now trying to go after the mortar team. There goes another mortar team again, as Storm and Fire is just still trying to engage. There's a bit of taunting. Are we going to see a little bit of damage? Cyclone coming back in to try and pick off the Archmage here. A little bit of damage. Earthstorm and Fire is just working together to try and pick off some of these units. Meanwhile, the Keeper of the Grove and the Dryads are now trying to retreat back a ways. So it's like almost fighting with two separate armies. Invisibility could be in a little bit online, as we see another invisibility go down onto the unit there, but just trying to finish off these units consistently. Dryads is still coupled with the Keeper of the Grove back in the center portion here, trying to take down some of those other units. 55 supply compared to 24, as Earthstorm and Fire has now come to an end. Panda now trying to get back away, and in comes the Dryads. They're trying to abolish magic, as the Archmage, well, not quite sure what that animation was. Archmage still trying to finish off some of those remaining units. Panda finishes off another Rifleman here, and after all that exchange, it looks as though two Dryads were taken down, but a handful of other units were taken down against Chaemiko. So good, effective trades. The main difference now being that Chaemiko is still mining and able to train up more units. Those mortar teams, which were becoming such a problem, are completely non-existent now after that engagement there. Dryads, Keeper of the Grove, one Panda trying to work together here. That Panda is actually going to get caught in a little bit of a tough spot. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? No. Priests are going to end up getting taken down. One more final shot is going to take it down there, as we see a Knight now getting entangled down as well. Mortar team coming in from behind. Rifleman coming into the engagement as well, as we see the Cyclone from Earthstorm and Storm from Earthstorm and Fire coming back across. Breath of Fire trying to finish off another unit, but a beautiful Staff of Sanctuary to save that unit again. Chaemiko is slowly losing a lot of units, but it may be enough, as Chaemiko finding the time to deny a priest as well, and now trying to get a surround on to this Panda. This may be the end right here. Nope. Somehow that Panda able to break a 7-unit surround by simply walking away. All right, Chaemiko needing to make sure to be a little bit more sure-footed here, but Earthstorm and Fire, are they going to be able to break free? The Panda gets taken down, and that is the game between Chaemiko and LawLiet. A long, drawn-out match. LawLiet, I would say, was much better with his heroes and his army, but could not overcome the resource difference here, even though it was only a 3,000 resource difference. Let me know what you guys thought. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.